Hello all you lovely people and welcome to another video of mine. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at this game South of Midnight on the Lenovo Legion Go. This is developed by a company called Compulsion Games and it has been published by Xbox Game Studios. And therefore, this is available on Xbox Game Pass as a day one release. This is a third-person action-adventure game set in the American Deep South, and you get to play as Hazel and explore this southern gothic world filled with folklore and mythical creatures to rescue your mother as Hazel and also your hometown after a hurricane. So that's what this game is about. So what we're going to do in today's video is we're going to take a look at the performance of this game on the Lenovo Legion Go. And I'm going to start off with the in-game settings because I'm already in the game. So the settings that I'm currently playing with would be these. So as far as the graphical settings go, I'm starting off with a resolution of 1200p. There is an option of running an auto configuration as well, so it will just optimize the settings based on your machine. In this case, the Legion Go. I have not chosen that. I have manually dialed in all the settings that I needed. I have turned off motion blur as I always do in all my game videos. Upscaling has been kept on TAAU and the quality is on performance mode. VSync is on, frame rate limiter. I have not kept any kind of a limiter. I might add in a limiter later on if the performance is fluctuating quite a lot. So it'll be interesting because I'm also playing this game for the first time. So I've not got a chance to really meddle around with the settings for this video. I just want to be transparent about not having played this game. Generally, what I do in my videos is I try and test out all the settings. I do permutations and combinations, and then I come back with the best settings possible. For this game, unfortunately, I have not had a chance to do that. So I've kept most of the settings on low. The only two settings that I've kept on medium would be post-process quality and the texture quality. So these are the only couple of settings that have been kept on medium. Apart from that, I have chosen the low quality preset. So these are my graphical settings. And now that I've shown you the graphical settings, I also want to show you my Lenovo Legion Go settings. Now, because this game is an Xbox game, so you access this from Xbox Game Pass, a lot of times when you access titles like that, it doesn't really show up on your AMD Adrenalin software, unfortunately. By the way, the TDP is on performance mode. I have kept the graphical resolution on 1200p even from Legion Space. There is no FPS limiter, 144Hz. I'm just going to turn this off for a bit, the tracker that is, and I'm going to come back to this. Now, because this is an Xbox game, it wasn't showing as a game out here, so I had to manually add this, and therefore you see this game launcher helper. Now the display driver that I'm working with is the 25.3.1, which released on the 25th of February 2025. That's the version that I'm playing with. If you don't know how to sideload this, I have a dedicated video on sideloading drivers, but that is the 24.12.1 that I've installed in that video. The only difference being the exe file. So instead of 24.12.1, you just got to download 25.3.1's exe file, and apart from that, the whole process stays the same. So you can check that video out on my video list. Now, as far as the settings of this particular game goes, what I've done is I've gone along with the standard settings that I usually use. That is AFMF2.1 has been enabled, kept on high and on quality mode. I have turned on anti-lag and I have turned on Radeon image sharpening and kept the sharpness percentage on 80%. I have chosen the anti-aliasing method as multi-sampling. The morphological anti-aliasing has been enabled. Anisotropic filtering has been enabled and kept at 2x. The texture filtering quality has been kept on performance, and the surface format optimization has been enabled as well. So these are my AMD Adrenalin settings. Now that I've shown you the in-game settings and the Adrenalin settings, let's get started with the new game. I'm going to put the tracker back on so that you can track the performance of this game. Here you can see that I am not using Radeon Super Resolution. Instead, I'm using image sharpening. The tracker says that I'm getting 66 FPS. Now we will get to see as we enter the game. So let's finally get started with the gameplay. All right, so let's start a new game and let's choose story mode. Okay, I'm just going to turn the volume down. The FPS says that I'm getting around 96 FPS, 144 FPS, that's insane. But these cutscenes, if they are pre-rendered, then it's not a good indicator of how the game is performing. We'll finally get to know when we get into the gameplay bit. These are obviously cutscenes. The cutscenes are nicely done. Even the opening introduction to the menu is really nice. So it kind of shows you that despite of not being a AAA title, like a full-fledged AAA title, I think some of these AA titles are really good when it comes to the quality, especially the ones made with Unreal Engine. And this is, of course, made with Unreal Engine. So this game has a very atmospheric world, and it creates a strong sense of place, and it immerses you as a player into this fantastical deep south with its unique blend of modern times and folklore, and the visuals, the music, they're all inspired by the region's complex history, and all of it contribute significantly to the atmosphere, and you'll get to see that in the game. I've seen a lot of gameplay videos of this already, and I was really excited to try this game out on the Legion Go. Let me give you a little bit of information about the narrative as well as this cutscene is going on. The story delves into the themes of family, of history, and identity against a backdrop of Southern mythology. Hazel's journey as a weaver, a magical mender of broken bonds and spirits, promises a heartfelt and engaging narrative. And this game has got a very unique visual style, as you can already see. This game will kind of remind you of somewhere between Across the Spider-Verse and maybe a stop-motion animation film from Pixar. And it's a very distinct visual style. Now, especially these cutscenes here. And what these cutscenes do is, and what this visual style does for this game is, it sets it apart and it enhances the surreal nature of this world. Okay, RB, alright. So, use to move the camera, press Y to interact, alright, I will do that. Press side to display the current objective, down to open the collection menu, and side again for the lower menu. Alrighty. So let's just pan the camera around. Guys, this is feeling smooth. It looks very sharp because remember, we are playing in 1200p. Generally, some of the games don't tend to work well when you keep the resolution, the display resolution on 1200p. This game so far seems to be working well. Let's inspect this. It's giving me around 70 to 85 FPS, even crossing 100 at times. So it's pretty clear that if I dial the resolution down, then obviously I can consistently maybe get over 100 FPS as well. But I'm not going to do that. I like the visual art style, and I think I'll probably keep this at 1200p for the sake of this video. Maybe in the future, what I can do is I can show you the performance of this game with AFMF 2.1 versus lossless scaling 3.0, that is. So please let me know if you would want to see a comparison, a side-by-side comparison of the game's performance with both these technologies, AFMF 2.1 and lossless scaling 3.0. In this video, I'm not covering lossless scaling. I am just covering AFMF 2.1 because the controls seem to be a little janky. Maybe it's because of the controller that I'm using. I'm using a third-party controller. This is not an Xbox controller. So that could be the reason. Now, what am I supposed to do? Chapter 1. Find mementos to pack. Okay. Hazel. So, did I not find those mementos? I did. Oh, there's one more here. Okay. So as Hazel, you also get to interact with a lot of supporting cast as you move along in the game. Pack your bag or box when ready. Okay. Guys, the game does feel smooth. There's no doubt about that. Where is my bag? Is it out there? I think it is. Is it the one here or is it on the table? Okay, let's interact and pack this. Alrighty, so as you can see, when it finally gets into these cutscenes, the FPS tends to go down to 30 FPS. Now, I've not put any kind of a limiter because I wanted to see the performance of this game without any limit on the FPS. So I'm not using Radeon Chill, I'm not using Legion Space, and I'm not putting any kind of an FPS limiter on this. The cutscenes, as you can see, they're running at around 30 FPS. They maxed out at that. And the gameplay is hovering between 70 to 100 FPS, which is pretty decent considering the game visually looks incredibly beautiful. Now, the gameplay, as you may have already noticed, it has a lot of moving around and maybe looking at objects and trying to see and identify those objects and stuff like that. But from the gameplay that I've seen online, there's a lot of platforming elements in this as well. There's also a lot of action that you'll get to see in the future if you are progressing in this game. Obviously, I might not be able to touch upon the action sequences in this particular gameplay video because I just wanted to show the first few minutes of this game. It's already on Game Pass. It has released. It is included in that Game Pass library of yours. So you don't have to pay anything extra. If you have a Game Pass subscription, you can completely take advantage of that and just download this for free. I mean, technically it's not free, it's included, but hey, you get what I'm saying, yeah? So the pacing and structure, some people may not like a lot of cutscenes. I personally do. If it enhances the overall narrative experience, then why not? The presentation looks pretty polished here. And already some people, some gamers are complaining about the pacing of this game. In terms of platforming and in terms of action, it's pretty bang on. But these cutscenes sometimes might slow the pace down. So the pacing can be uneven. And there are certain sections, it seems, of the game or gameplay loops which may also become predictable and repetitive. These are not my words. These are just some of the gamers who have shared their experiences online, and I'm just giving you a summary of what the early reviews are like. Generally, when I review any kind of a game which is just released, I only like showing the first 20 or 30 minutes, not more than that. And I don't do a review for a very long time because I want you guys to experience the game yourself. This video also is primarily focused on the performance of this game on the Legion Go. I'm not cutting anything out so that you can see how this performs even in these cutscenes, because sometimes cutscenes can be demanding. If they are in-game cutscenes, then it can really take a toll on your system. And the game might stutter in the cutscenes, the game might lag, and sometimes the game may even crash. Here, fortunately, there are no signs of that. The game is looking really good in terms of performance. And here, even when I move into this world that I get to explore, by the way, for a AA game, this game looks good. I don't know if you have played Banishers. There's the game, yeah? Banishers, yeah. And even Evil West, they were not AAA titles, but they were really good in terms of the visuals. And even this game is looking super solid in terms of the visuals. The performance is also satisfactory. It feels smooth, although it says that I'm only getting 52 FPS, but the game feels smooth. Check on bow, alright. I even get to sprint, okay. So as you can see, right in the first few minutes, there is a lot of, there are a lot of cutscenes here. And that's what this game is. At the end of the day, it's a narrative driven adventure. So obviously there are going to be a lot of cutscenes. What this game could excel in is its unique setting, its story, because so far it seems interesting. The whole backdrop, the setting, the characters so far, they look pretty interesting. And as a game, you can already see that it's set up this atmosphere, and the game mechanics, while it may not be groundbreaking or anything, because from the gameplay videos again that I've seen, I've noticed that it's a pretty standard game loop. So it's not like the game is doing something radically new. As long as the game does what it's doing in a good way, gamers are going to be happy with it. You don't have to introduce new mechanics or something revolutionary, as long as what you have and what you're doing with that has been done well. I don't even know what I'm supposed to do, so I'm just moving around here, just knocking on people's door. Again, I would just like to mention that this is on Xbox Game Pass and it's included, so you don't have to pay anything extra, and there's no harm in downloading this. As a file, it's a 60 gigs file on the Lenovo Legion Go. So far it looks pretty decent, pretty solid to me in terms of the performance. As you can see, the colors are vibrant, and the Legion Go's 8.8 inch QHD plus display makes the colors pop even more. I might increase the ISO just a bit. Just give me one quick second. So I've increased the ISO of the game here, and as you can see, it only makes the game look better. Earlier, since the ISO was lower, maybe the colors looked a bit saturated, but overall the colors are pretty balanced. Yeah, it is a colorful game, and the colors really pop. I'm just gonna skip this. There's just too much. Yeah, let's just move into the gameplay, because I do want to show you some gameplay, and I want to show how this performs in the gameplay areas. So far so good. 50, 55 FPS, 60 FPS as well. It's crossing that, but it feels smooth. Even when the performance drops down to 40, 47 FPS, 42 FPS there. Well, that was a pretty low frame count. But even then, it still feels right. It feels smooth. Some games, when the FPS counter says 40, sometimes it seems very, very laggy. But in this case, thankfully, that is not the case. Okay, hazards such as toxic water and brambles can cause damage. Okay, so we want to avoid the toxic water, and therefore, you have these platforming elements. Can I do a double jump? No, I can't. But hey, so far so good. What do you guys think about this game? Please let me know in the comments section. It does look pretty promising. It looks pretty interesting. I still haven't gotten to an area where I get to fight enemies. I was just waiting for that so that I can show you some of that gameplay as well. But it's just taken a very long time to maybe get to an area like that. Where do I need to go? I think I need to go here. Ooh. Okay, so the FPS went down below 40, but yeah, there was a cutscene coming up, so I think it was because of that. As far as these cutscenes go, 30 FPS is fine, because this is a pretty cinematic kind of a cutscene. So 30 FPS is absolutely fine in terms of these cutscenes, as long as the gameplay is not in 30 FPS, if you know what I mean. The gameplay needs to be smooth. So press A to hang and move along the ledge, and A to jump and B to drop. Alrighty. So this is where that platforming comes into the picture. Again, still no enemies. I've not gotten a chance. Oh, down. Guys, I mean, I just want to get over this section very fast, and in an attempt to do that, I'm actually making a lot of mistakes. So let me be patient. This reminds me of the Prince of Persia games, by the way. Okay, and let's move here. Let's move further. Let's go up. Oh, no, 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 no. Sideways. Ooh, what's that? That's a big creature. Oh man, if that is a boss fight in this game, that's gonna be interesting. I don't know. So far this looks pretty polished, guys, for a game which is included in, I mean, on Game Pass. So far it's a good experience. I cannot complain. Okay, I think I'm supposed to go here. Let's sprint. And the performance is also solid. So at 1200p, it's performing so well. If I drop the resolution down to 800p, I'm sure it's gonna do much, much better. And I didn't even have to use lossless scaling for this game, guys. Generally, games which are very demanding, I end up using lossless scaling instead of AFMF2.1. But for this game, I don't think that's required. You will be able to play this with AFMF 2.1, and there's no need for lossless scaling. And because AFMF 2.1 is a driver-based solution, there's not a lot of ghosting or artifacting and not a lot of lag. With lossless scaling 3.0, you may end up getting border artifacting and ghosting around the character if you use a big multiplier, like 3 or 4 times the multiplier. If you're just doing a 2 times multiplier, then you should be fine. What if I take the resolution down? Let's try to do that, okay? Let's take it down to 800p. And let's see what happens. Oh, definitely feels way smoother now. And look at the base FPS count there. So we have come over 70 to 80 plus FPS from a base of around 50 to 60 FPS. So it definitely feels a lot more smoother at 800p, and the game still looks fine. When you're playing these games on a small screen like QHD+, 800p looks absolutely fine. Now, before I bought my Legion Go, I always had this question in my mind: 800p, how are games going to look in 800p resolution? I was quite surprised, pleasantly surprised, when I finally got my hands on my Legion Go, and it looks very different to what you probably might be seeing on YouTube because of compression and all that stuff, and plus I'm recording this through my Pocket 2. So it's not an exact or the right representation of what this looks like in real life. In real life, 800p looks absolutely fine on a small screen like this. So if you want the maximum performance out of this game, then you can just play this on 800p. You might want to dial up the graphical presets, maybe over to medium from low. That will help make the game look much better. So you can do that because it might still give you over 60 FPS. And as far as 60 FPS is what you're getting on your Legion Go, you should be happy. So far, this game has pleasantly surprised me, and it's pretty good. It's performing really well on the Legion Go. If you have had a chance to play this on your Legion Go, please come back and let me know what your experience has been like. Do you think this game is worthy of being rated as maybe 8 or 9 out of 10? What are your thoughts? Please let me know in the comments section. As far as this video goes, I'll probably stop here, and I would encourage you to download this on Xbox Game Pass and experience this game yourself. We can talk about it in the comments section. In this video, I've tried to cover the performance of this game. If you have liked this video, then I would greatly appreciate it if you consider smashing that like button and also that bell icon in case you want to get notified with all my latest videos. And yeah, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Now, if you want to become a member of my channel, there's an option of doing that as well for as low as $1. But subscribing to the channel and becoming a part of my community is free. Now, you giving me that $1 and becoming a member will help me fetch a cup of coffee every month. And again, for as low as $1, and I thank you in advance for doing that. Now, I do make other videos like the one that you're watching right now. These are my Let's Play videos on the Legion Go, but I do have gameplay videos, I have game reviews, I have unboxing and reviews of products or items related to gaming. And all you got to do to become a part of my community again is hit that subscribe button, which is absolutely free. I thank you in advance for watching this. I thank you in advance for subscribing and liking this video. I will see you lovely folks in my next video. Until that time, I'll say take care, stay safe, and may God bless you all.